All right, my peoples. So last night was the start of AmFest, a Turning Point USA convention, and I wasn't able to watch any of the speeches last night. I just had some stuff that was going on in my personal life that didn't really allow me to take time to truly watch any of the speeches. But I did see clips. I did see clips of a certain somebody who went to town, okay? Who ate and left no crumbs. And that person, of course, is the amazing Ben Shapiro. So we're going to watch his speech, at least some of his speech today in this video, and go over some of the things that he said. Yeah, it was good. Sorry, I got to raise this up so you guys can see me. Okay, here we go. Better view now. So again, we're going to watch just some of what he had to say last night. And rumor has it, Candace Owens is still trying to heal because the wounds were huge. Not only towards her, but also Megyn Kelly. Yet he went to town and did not hold back, okay? Candace, Megyn, and Tucker Carlson, they all got it. Let's watch.
But today, I want to talk about something even more important. How to discern those attempting to speak truth from frauds and grifters.
Gee, I wonder who the frauds and grifters he's talking about. Are they in the room with us?
Because something is new. An informational environment rife with both opportunity and chaos. Opportunity because the legacy media gatekeepers are no longer in charge of what we see and what we hear. And chaos because an anarchic informational environment means we actually have to be smart in how we assess the information and arguments that we hear. Why does that matter? Well, because today the conservative movement is in serious danger. It is in danger, not just from a left that all too frequently excuses everything up to and including murder. The conservative movement is also in danger from charlatans who claim to speak in the name of principle, but actually traffic in conspiracism and dishonesty.
The moment he said conspiracy, I think we all knew exactly who he was talking about. And in case you haven't been paying attention, he's talking about Candace Owens.
Who offer nothing but bile and despair, who seek to undermine fundamental principles of conservatism by championing enervation and grievance. These people are frauds, and they are grifters, and they do not deserve your time. And they are something worse than that. A danger to the only movement capable of stopping the left from wrecking the country wholesale. So today, I want to discuss 5 obligations that people who speak to you on matters of importance have to you. I want to speak to you about our duties. Our first duty is truth. We owe you the truth. That means we should not mislead you. It means we shouldn't hide the ball. We shouldn't be deliberately obscure about what we're telling you. We have an obligation to clarity and to honesty. This means that we actually have to be clear in the language that we use. We should not traffic in generality. We should not say things like, they shot Charlie, without specifying whom we mean by they. The person who allegedly shot Charlie Kirk, and whom all the evidence points at, all of it, is a gay, trans-loving furry.
True.
If we are going to target ideological movements, we should talk about the fact that the radical trans movement treats all those who oppose it as existential threats.
Yep.
Or if we're going to talk about the Democratic Party making room for the radical trans movement and echoing its inflammatory rhetoric, well, we should talk about that. Those are specific problems, and they require specific responses.
Exactly.
When people say they shot Charlie, however, they are instead trafficking in vagary that results in increased hatred without proposing any effective response. They are fostering despair and rage, and that makes things worse.
Yep.
We must also be honest about what people say and do, regardless of what that means coalitionally. It is the job of politicians to build coalitions. It's the job of those of us who try to shape public opinion to hold politicians to account and to hold them accountable to our values. Right. We must not let fear of audience deter us from telling the truth.
Yes.
We must not let fear of other hosts deter us from telling the truth.
Yes.
So,
Preach.
For example, if Candace Owens decides to spend every day since the murder of Charlie Kirk.
He's going in. Yes. Pull her out, Ben. That takes balls. Yes.
So, if Candace Owens decides to spend every day since the murder of Charlie Kirk casting aspersions at TPUSA
and making money,
the people who work here, who worked with Charlie every single day, his best friends, to cast aspersions at Mikey McCoy and Andrew Colvin and Blake Neff and Tyler Boyer, and yes, at Erica Kirk.
Yes.
And to imply or outright claim complicity in a cover-up over Charlie's murder, to spew absolutely baseless trash implicating everyone from French intelligence to Mossad to members of TPUSA in Charlie's murder or a cover-up in that murder, then we, as people with a microphone, have a moral obligation to call that out by name.
Call it out. Exactly. Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson.
Erica Kirk and TPUSA never should have been put in the position to have to defend themselves against such specious and evil attacks, particularly in a time of mourning.
Candace, any questions? We're talking about you, girl.
And the people who refuse to condemn Candace's truly vicious attacks, and some of them are speaking here, are guilty of cowardice. Yes, cowardice.
He's going in.
The fact that they have said nothing while Candace has been vomiting all sorts of hideous and conspiratorial nonsense into the public square for years is just as cowardly.
Oof. Ben's going in.
Second, because we owe you the truth, we owe you the duty to speak out of principle, not personal feeling. It should not matter whether we despise someone or whether we love someone. The question is what they say and what they do, and whether those things are morally decent or not. On a political level, do they foster freedom, justice, and prosperity? On a personal level, do they treat others as they would wish to be treated? Personal feeling is not a substitute for moral judgment. To take again the Candace Owens situation as an example, friendship with public figures who say or do evil things is not an excuse for silence on the matter.
Boom.
Politics is not the sisterhood of the traveling pants.
Well, that's definitely aimed
Politics
at
is about
Megyn
principle,
Kelly.
and if you are willing to sacrifice basic truth and simple principle in favor of emotional solidarity, you have betrayed your fundamental duty to the American people.
I know they are sweating right now.
First off, I should break the omerta here and just be a little bit clear. The notion that people in our industry are close friends, like we all take holiday breaks with each other and go to each other's kids' graduations and stuff, is generally untrue. Some people do that, most of us don't. We see each other at conferences and we talk on the phone and all the rest. We're business colleagues. But even if it were true that other public figures were our best friends, our very best friends, that does not relieve us of our duty to speak out of principle and not to cover up evil or shy away from addressing it out of friendship.
Thank you. I've been saying this nonstop. Call her out.
So no, Tucker Carlson, it is not an excuse to go silent on Candace's targeting of TPUSA.
Mic drop.
Or to mirror her bullshit lines of questioning because you love Candace personally. The same holds true of Megyn Kelly, a person I consider a friend, characterizing Candace as a young mother and thus shying away from condemning her actions or fibbing about them.
Young mother.
That is a non-starter. Meghan Markle is a young mother. Ilhan Omar is a young mother. That doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And when Megyn said this week, quote, "My goal and my job here is to try to understand, yes, where Candace is coming from on this," and says she sees no purpose in inserting herself, quote, into this on one side, that is a moral and logical absurdity. There is only one moral side here, Erica Kirk's side.
Boom. There you go, baby. Let her know, Ben. Let her know. Grow a backbone.
You know, the side of the widow with 2 children whose husband was shot live on camera in front of all of us.
I mean, come on.
Friendship with the person accusing TPUSA of a cover-up of Charlie's murder is no excuse for cowardice.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And Megyn and Candace aren't even friends. That's the thing.
Third, and relatedly, we have a duty to take responsibility for what we say and do. If we hire awful people, we're responsible for that. I have some experience there, as you might suspect. That means that if we offer a guest for your viewing, we owe it to you to ask the kinds of questions that actually get at the truth. If we agree with the guest, that's fine, but we should own it. So, for example, if you host a Hitler apologist, Nazi-loving, anti-American piece of refuse like Nick Fuentes,
speak on it, Ben. Speak that truth.
you know, the Nick Fuentes who said that the Vice President of the United States is a, quote, fat gay race traitor married to a Jeet. The person who said that Charlie Kirk was a, quote, retarded idiot. The person who said, and pardon my language here, it's his quote, that he, quote, took Turning Point USA and fucked it, and that's why it's filled with groypers. If you have that person on your show and you proceed to glaze him, you ought to own it.
Tucker Carlson. Ben is calling them out.
There is a reason that Charlie Kirk despised Nick Fuentes, and indeed even chided Dinesh D'Souza for debating him. He knew that Nick Fuentes is an evil troll, and that building him up is an act of moral imbecility.
Yes, don't platform
and that
him.
is precisely what Tucker Carlson did. He built Nick Fuentes up. And he ought to take responsibility for that, just as he ought to take responsibility for glazing pornographer and alleged sex trafficker Andrew Tate, or for mainstreaming fake historian and pseudo-Nazi apologist Daryl Cooper as America's best and most honest popular historian. Hosts are indeed responsible for the guests they choose and the questions they ask those guests.
Ben is killing it right now. He's freaking killing it.
Fourth, because we have a duty to truth, we also have a duty to provide you with evidence of the claims that we make. Emotive accusations, conspiracy theories, and just asking questions, that's lazy and stupid and misleading.
Just asking questions.
None of them are a substitute for truth. None of them are a substitute for evidence. So, when Candace Owens says, I don't know, but I know, that is retarded. And we are all more retarded for having heard it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, he is killing it right now. MVP, Mr. Ben Shapiro.
When Steve Bannon, for example, accuses his foreign policy opponents of loyalty to a foreign country, he's not actually making an argument based in evidence. He's simply maligning people that he disagrees with, which is indeed par for the course from a man who was once a PR flack for Jeffrey Epstein. Check the record. Our duty to provide you evidence means we actually have to do much more than just ask questions. Just asking questions is something my 5-year-old does, and it's really cute when it comes from my 5-year-old. But when grown men and women spend their days just asking questions without, seeking answers,
and making money
to you. In fact, they're doing something even worse. They are seeding distrust in the world around you, and they are enervating you in the process. So, for example, if many speakers, including Tucker Carlson and others, get on stage here at TPUSA and claim, without proper evidence, that Jeffrey Epstein was running a Mossad rape ring being covered up by the Trump administration, they are not actually uncovering a conspiracy or effectuating a solution. They are claiming a special provenance to information they won't let you see, which builds their power and leaves you with none.
Hello.
They are also implicating in their speculation actual human beings, good human beings, like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi, and yes, the President of the United States, even if they're too cowardly to say President Trump's name.
Exactly.
And that means you won't trust those good people in the future. You haven't gotten smarter, you've just been manipulated. When forced to demonstrate their evidence, these same people will often refuse to provide it. They'll claim ignorance. They'll pretend they're outside the system. And they don't have access to actual information. They're just asking questions. But many of these same people have direct pipelines to informational sources. So, for example, if Tucker wants answers to his questions about, say, Jeffrey Epstein, he could call the Vice President of the United States. He's quite close with him.
He won't do that.
But he won't, because that might undermine the empty speculation. None of this means there aren't actual real conspiracies in the world. Of course there are. But actual conspiracies require actual evidence. Yes, there was a Russiagate conspiracy. We know the names of the people involved and what they did. We know Hillary Clinton and Fusion GPS and James Comey and Loretta Lynch and Adam Schiff. We know all of those people. Yes, there was a COVID-19 conspiracy. We know that Anthony Fauci worked to shut down alternative solutions from people like Jay Bhattacharya. But when people posit a conspiracy and then provide you no evidence, they are doing you a fundamental disservice, and they are making you stupider in the process.
Candace Owens in the audience. I hope you guys are listening. If you watch Candace Owens,
finally,
that's you.
Because it is our job to make the lives of our audience better, right? That's really our job, is to give you more information to make your lives better.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop it there because Mr. Ben Shapiro is cooking. Okay, he is cooking so good right now that I'm hungry. I'm starving. All right, I want my plate, Ben. I want my plate. Give it to me. I'm hungry. No, he killed it. He killed it. He called out Candace Owens by name, something that nobody else is really doing at that level because they're so scared of her audience and of losing their own subscribers. I love the fact that he called her out by name and he called out her apologist by name, i.e., Megyn Kelly, who has been in the middle or on the fence for a very long time. And in my opinion, if you're close to Turning Point USA and you were close to Charlie Kirk and you love Erica Kirk and you're in that camp and you trust them, then you do have a moral obligation to set the record straight when a nut job is accusing them of being murderers. You have a moral obligation to say, hold up, I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but I do not agree. These are my friends. I know them and they would never do A, B, and C. So she's wrong. Megyn won't do that for some reason. It's all, oh, well, she's asking questions and I don't quite understand why she's saying that, but I'm trying to understand. She's just a mom, get the hell out of here. If you are friends with somebody and you know their character, then yes, you should be speaking up and not being afraid of said person's audience, the cultists who are going to come after you. Who cares? Speak on it. Have a backbone. So I 1000% agree with Mr. Ben Shapiro on that part. Megyn, you dropped the ball. And as far as Tucker, I don't listen to him. He's paid off by Qatar. He's in a whole another universe. Yeah, not a fan of his. But I'm glad that he called them out because what it shows is Ben isn't scared. He ain't scared. And you know that the cultists and the people in that camp are going to be anti-Semitic and they're like, oh my God, Ben Shapiro, the Jew, he's saying this, he's saying that he's a Jew. That's their go-to because that's who they are. And that's fine. That's fine. We all know it. But I love the fact that Ben is standing on business, doesn't care, is speaking on it with authority and saying, come at me, bro. What's up? I love it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Ben Shapiro's speech last night at AmFest. Were you feeling it? Were you not feeling it? What are your thoughts? Why not? Let me know down below. If you enjoy my content, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit my notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. Until next time.